Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, PrincetonTrader.com here for NTMarkets.com with your Monday morning pre-market webcast. Okay, daily chart of the ES showing essentially the move from the 1553 quarter lows in June up to the 1705 high and the retracement that we've had here. The original box that we drew was from the 38% retracement to the 50% retracement here. That was our target zone. We traded into that zone. We've traded back out of it. Essentially now, it was what we had talked about last week was there was no doubt that we were going to bounce. Of course we're going to bounce. We always bounce, okay? But it's what are the bulls going to do with the bounce? And on my evening recap last night and later in the week last week, we looked at some zones. One of the zones we looked at was right here in the 1670 area, the 23% retracement of the total move. It also coincides with the 50% retracement of this smaller pullback down to 1631.5. Now, we didn't quite test that last night. We did 1667 even highs in Globex. But what we saw at 1667 was basically price rejection. Now, I never really trust price rejection that happens at midnight Eastern time. I would rather have price rejection at noon Eastern time. But we live in a Globex world. Don't let anybody tell you that we don't, because we do. The people that want to tell you that we don't live in a Globex world are the ones that have a vested interest in this not being a Globex world. But that said, you would still like to see a high made during the regular day. So do I think that this high is going to be tested or that this may not be the high? That's very possible. The area I talked about on the evening recap last night was from 1670 up to 1675, which is the middle band of the daily Bollingers, the 20-day simple moving average. That would be a zone where it would really be high noon. Either the bulls would have to push through it, as they did here after about 5 days of consolidation underneath it, or it's an area where the bears could be able to step in, turn it back, and make new lows. And if they're able to make lows there, then you really have to start thinking about a retest of these lows down at 1553 quarter. There's really no in between. At least at a minimum, it would retrace 38% of the total move, which would be back to 1565. So this little pop higher, the bulls have a lot on the line here as far as being able to push through. Because if they can push through, the chances of breaking through 1705 and making another high are very likely, because then this move is really no different than this move. And if you back out the chart one more time, you see what's happening here, which is an overall uptrend. This was a 38% retracement of this move up to new highs. We retraced not even 38% of the total move, and we're bouncing off of that. So, it is still, sorry about that, it is still a uptrending market without a doubt. So what are we looking at today? We're looking at a retest of 67 to see how that interacts. If the bears have a big day today and leave a big candle, big topping candle like that on the chart, they'll have to follow through tomorrow, but it definitely would be to their advantage as the week progresses. So just a few things that I'm looking at today. All right, everybody have a fantastic day. Mike Vacchi, PrincetonTrader.com. Follow us on Twitter at Princeton Trader. Come check out the chat room, free 2-week trial. Click the link. We're doing a webinar on Wednesday after the close talking about pivots and levels and some of the trade setups we use in the chat room. We'd love to have you there. And I will be back tonight with an evening recap and tomorrow morning with another webcast. Trade them well, everybody.